Alright, hello and welcome. Here we are for a track guide for the Porsche Cup, Red Bull Ring in the wet, week 1. Here we go. As we come down the start-finish straight, we're looking up into T1, and we're looking for our braking point, which is going to be the white end of the white wall on the right-hand side there, just in between the 150 and the 100 board. Now you want to avoid any curbs in the wet. Max braking pressure here is going to be around 70%, and we're going to get all the way down into second gear. Turn in for this corner, we're going to be looking for this white line, and we're going to start to initiate our turn in, just missing the apex. If we hit the apex, there's a good possibility that you are going to spin the car. Now, as you come up, you can hit full throttle pretty quickly, but just be cognizant that in the wet, it's going to have a tendency to spin more. You can run over this curb, but again, just be careful of how much steering input you have. As we come down through turn 2, which is just a slight curve, and then T3 into the heavy braking zone, we're looking for the 150 board, and just past the 150 board, I usually let off the throttle at the 150 board and then apply the brakes soon after. Max braking pressure of 60%. I like to hit on here a little more than that, and you run the risk of locking the brakes up. And we're going to come down all the way into first gear here. We're going to start to initiate our turn in just before the curbing ends, like right at the right as that red section of curbing ends on the left-hand side rather. And then we're going to turn, avoid the apex. Just a little bit. Again, hitting any curbs in the wet is going to be deadly. Now you want to be careful, because as you're coming uphill on this one, and if you put too much throttle too quickly, I had a little bit too much, you probably want to stay at about 50% there. And you see I just kind of kicked it up a little bit too soon. So stay at 60 until I was completely unwound, and then hit it up. Otherwise, a decent corner. Now we're going to come all the way down to T4 here, or Rausch. And we're looking at braking just before the 150 meter board. Again, avoiding the curbs as we brake. Anytime you hit the curbs, it will spin your car as you're braking. Max brake pressure, 50% here. And we're looking for just before the ends of the white curbing on the left, right at that red section of curbing on the left. Turn in down to second gear for this corner here. We're going to want to do a later apex. I think apex just a little bit too early on this one, just to make that the exit a little bit easier. And you want to, again, completely avoid the curbing. I think I thought I was going to hit the curbing, which is why I got a little bit loose on that corner there. So as we come around now to Power Horse, we're going to be looking at braking just past the 100 board, just before the 50. Max braking pressure, 50%. You're going to just keep that trail braking until the car is appropriately turned just past the start of that curbing. And then I like to hit the throttle quite early on this one, and you're going to get up to about 80% and just hold it there until you're ready to unwind the steering wheel. I find it just helps rotate the car, especially in the wet. Now, as we're coming down to the next corner, which is going to be T7, we're looking at starting our braking just as this curbing ends on the right-hand side, and down into third gear, and we're going to initiate our turn in right as we get to the just as we get into where those two white lines converge. Leave a little bit of room on the apex. I could have trail braked a little bit longer on this one just to get a bit tighter on there, but again, we're going to start to get up to 80% quite quickly to help the car kind of rotate out of this one. Now, as we come around this next corner, we want to completely avoid the curbs. It will make you spin. And just be cognizant that you're on the racing line when you're this close to the apex, and it's quite slippery there, so it will get loose if you let it. Coming up into turn 9, Jockenringt, we are going to be hitting the brakes just at the 100 meter board here, up to a 50% max, going down to third gear in this corner, and we want to begin our turn in just past the 50 board there. And we want to be a little wide on this apex here. Reason being, there's a puddle that likes to collect in the middle of this apex, and if you hit that, it's just gonna push you to the outside where you don't want to be. Now for turn 10, the final corner, as we see this wall, this blue and white striped wall on the left-hand side, just as it ends is where I like to brake. 55 to 60% braking pressure. I turned in a bit early on this one. I'd like to just maybe keep the turn in just like maybe 5 feet too early here, a couple meters too early, and be a little bit later on the apex there, and then just completely avoid everything on the outside curbing there again. You're just going to slow yourself down if you get too far into the outside. All right, well, that's the track guide for Red Bull Ring. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Appreciate it. And if you want to see more content like this, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. All right. Thanks very much, folks. Have a great day.